So have you ever had anyone come in and ask you for a bag of hair?
Yes.
And what was your reaction?
Why? Why would you do that? That's disgusting.
If somebody said, I can't tell you what I want it for, would that be weird?
Oh, I always made the joke, if you go to the nearest crime scene or whatever, you really want to just ruin someone's day, you just kind of shake the hair all over the place. It's like, oh, there's 45 guys in here, just all various DNA everywhere.
Welcome to the PEMCast, conversations and stories for the culturally curious. From the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, I'm your host, Dinah Carden. So here's things going on here. We got beard trims, haircuts, 1, 2, 3, 4 haircutters working, people coming in and out. The second somebody leaves, somebody else walks in. The razors keep firing up. The owner keeps yelling to people walking by who he knows.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
People driving by are honking.
Oh!
The door is open. We're right across from City Hall. It is hopping in here. Does hair gross you out?
No, not at all. I've been around it. It gets in my food, in my hands, my arms. You get hair splinters. I don't get worried about it.
You get hair splinters? Is he your guy?
Ooh, this is my favorite guy. Good to see you.
Can I get you to say your name?
Oh, hi, yeah, I'm Jordan Bartholomew. I'm the owner of the Bada Bing Barbershop in Shave Parlor.
At the Bada Bing Barbershop and Shave Parlor, it's common to hear someone yell, "Give me 5 on top and 2 on the side." We're here because this episode is all about hair, its cultural meaning, and how it conveys our own personal creative expression. Here at the museum, we're gearing up for the Moth Story Slam. On Thursday, August 3rd, you can tell an intimate story about hair. Yours, someone else's, your pet's, or come participate by listening. In the meantime, we return to the place where people talk and think about hair all day long.
How much hair do you think is swept up at this shop every day?
What unit of measurement would you like? By the pound, the inch? I'd say at least 15 Irish wolfhounds worth of fur or hair, just all swept up into one bag.
By the Irish Wolfhound.
Yeah. It's at least 13 gallons, so 39 gallons of hair. It's a lot of hair.
So what would you say if I came in here and I said, can I have some?
A lot of things.
Do you find it disgusting to imagine hair going out here in bags?
I mean, yeah. Because if you really think about it, right? Anything protruding from your scalp is dead. So now you're just removing dead parts of yourself, sprinkling it all over the floor, in your eyes. Yeah. It's gross.
What would you say if I told you that we're opening an exhibition that includes the hair of people from almost every country in the world?
Wow. That's pretty righteous. I'd love to make donations.
That's disgusting. I hope that is saran wrapped or something, because that's a lot of DNA.
This is Lauren Lusardi. She's a barber here and married to Jordan.
Hair is so gross. And it's just the fact that it's attached to a human.
That's the entire point, is it's making a portrait of humanity through their DNA.
That's wicked cool. That's actually, I would go see that.
This is a Chinese artist, and it was from donations from barbershops and beauty salons, and he thinks it's 500,000 people.
Wow. That's a lot of different people, huh?
Contemporary artist Wenda has us obsessed with hair. His large dramatic work must be seen to be experienced. It's been sparking conversation among staff and visitors alike. The giant work represents the flags of the member states of the United Nations from the year 2000, made entirely of human hair.
I think we've come leaps and bounds. When this installation was first proposed, there was a lot of trepidation around it. There was a lot of nervousness.
This is Lon Morgan, Associate Curator at PEM. Using hair in this work is all about our shared genetic code, celebrating our human connection. It's a message our staff can certainly get behind. Still, in preparation for bringing this work to our garden atrium, our curators had sort of an uphill battle. They often had to contend with blank stares and concerned expressions. Would the human hair aspect be too off-putting?
I have to admit, myself included, I think the idea of human hair at this scale has a little bit of an ick factor, for lack of a better term. But now that it's installed, the piece itself is actually quite beautiful, especially here in our atrium, where you get all of these really incredible shadows that are cast from the flags, but also because of the concepts that Gu brings about. This piece is really very much a statement about our oneness as a human race.
Wenda works in hair and other bodily materials after training as a Chinese ink painter, becoming well known for large-scale ink paintings where he worked with invented Chinese characters.
Early on, he started making ink out of hair, working with a traditional factory in China. And then right here in front of us, we have these bricks that are made completely out of hair too. And these have been used in some of his projects where he creates what he calls monuments. And these are made to the size of actual bricks in sections of the Great Wall of China.
That's so cool. Let me ask you this. Would you ever donate your hair to something like this?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it would be really fascinating to have your hair immortalized in this way. And interestingly, many of the visitors who have come here, especially while Gu was here, asked him if they could donate their hair. So he had a very difficult time gathering this hair before he really was well known for this kind of work. But now it's very easy for him. Many people want to donate their hair to his projects.
When he first began these projects that required him to gather hair, he deliberately went to barbershops and beauty salons from a very wide social and cultural array of communities.
This is Trevor Smith, PEM's Associate Director of Multisensory Experience and Curator of the museum's Present Tense Initiative. It's part of Trevor's job to bring artists and works to the museum that might take us by surprise or challenge us in new ways.
It's been a long process. We first started talking about working with Gu as part of a bigger project in the fall of 2016, and then by December 2019, we knew we wanted to do a solo project with him, and we went to his exhibition in Wuhan, of all places. And then the world changed. It was a real accomplishment for everybody here to kind of stick to this and not let it go, but the vision of a work that speaks about the collective us, humanity, already felt like an urgent question in 2019. It feels even more urgent today in 2023.
Wenda is considered one of the most significant artists to emerge from China in the last 50 years. He started this project 3 decades ago.
He moved to New York in '97 and was confronted by the coexistence of all of these different cultures and began to want to reflect this in his artwork somehow and find a medium that could allow him to express this.
Bodily material has a benefit. It closes the gap between the artwork and the human viewers.
Here's Gu speaking with us about what drew him to this controversial medium.
By doing this piece, actually, I become a learner of the significance behind hair in different races and different regions.
The hair was collected from barbershops, beauty salons, and individual volunteers from around the world. It was then cleaned and sorted, and to make the flags, it was then mixed with glue and applied to burlap to give it structure. The mixing of so many people's hair produces what the artist sees as a collective portrait of humanity.
So this work, United Nations actually is the big collaboration with all the races around the world. So everybody feels they are in it. The work has its purpose, try to bring people together.
Traditionally, DNA might be used to kind of identify one person out of a million others, whereas here what he's doing is he's taking these traces and mingling them entirely.
Trevor again.
But if you think about the flag, it's a symbol that might unite some people, but they divide those people against another group of people. So the association with the body, with DNA, is a reminder of our common humanity.
An introductory video helps explain and invites visitors to Wenda's vision as a celebration of all of us.
Welcome to Wenda's installation, United Nations Man in Space.
Since its beginnings in 1799, PEM has invited its visitors to rethink their place in the world.
Watching other people's reactions is, of course, a really critical part of how I work as a curator. Like here we have a group of about 10 or 12 folks of all ages. You can just see from the look on their face that they're really enjoying exploring the work from many different angles and kind of reflecting on it.
Can you point out just some of the flags?
Straight ahead of us right now is the US flag, and it's right next to the China flag, and that's the only flags in this whole installation that have been deliberately placed. And of course, you know, it relates to Gu's origins as a Chinese person, but also as a US resident. Then, let me see, it looks like we have South Africa up there. There's Australia right up top. There's Mexico kind of hanging across.
The time I created this work, that was kind of world is kind of peaceful and everybody's happy. Comparatively to today, you know, the political, social, and economic situation become a kind of turmoil.
This is the artist again.
For the physical space around, I talked to a curator of the museum, Trevor. You know, usually my work is symmetrical, but this work is kind of a little bit chaotic. It fits the situation and the time we live in.
One of the things about how we've installed the work is that we have deliberately placed breaks and openings in the structure, partly because of the fluid nature of this moment where international relations are being tested in new and old ways. It felt important to kind of create a structure that didn't pretend to be complete and whole. There's a lot of different reasons why countries change and identifications change. But the point is that it's a fluid situation, and it's much more fluid than we actually think on a day-to-day basis.
Even as the face of NATO is changing right today, right now.
Exactly. And so for a museum that is founded on the first generation of global entrepreneurs in the United States, they founded this institution to help us think about who are we, where are we, and where are we going.
Hair is a material that's been used for thousands of years by many different kinds of artists.
Again, PEM Associate Curator Lon Morgan. She's helping us make the connection between contemporary artists making works from hair and the fact that hair has long been used in art making.
We have hair included in many indigenous objects, often ritual objects. We have hair included in our Asian export collections. We even have hair in our American embroideries as well.
Lon and I are in PEM's Ropes Mansion on Essex Street in Salem. It's one of 22 historic houses that the museum stewards as part of our collection.
Hair is particularly significant in mourning jewelry because it has this very sentimental connection with the human body. It's also a material that doesn't degrade. If you think about Egyptian mummies or exhumed medieval kings, they still have their hair. So it's something that you can use as a lasting keepsake. But hair has a very personal connection to the body. You remember somebody by the color of their hair, the texture of their hair. If you have an intimate connection with them, you've likely touched their hair. And so it's a very personal way to keep a person who you've lost close to you.
In 1893, 3 unmarried sisters living in Cincinnati decided to move to Salem upon learning their brother Nathaniel Ropes, the fifth, had died. He left them the mansion and a sizable fortune. The personal belongings of the Ropes family have been cared for here ever since. But what has also been preserved are the family's stories. These rooms witness birth, death, friendship, celebration, and mourning.
What's really interesting about the mourning jewelry in the Ropes mansion is not that it's particularly unique mourning jewelry. It's more so that it's representing several different generations within the Ropes family, and that it's all preserved in situ here at the Ropes mansion. What we have here are some of our earlier pieces that were made for the husband of Sally Ropes. He died very early on in their marriage in 1818. Sally clipped a few locks of his hair and she brought it to local Salem jewelers, Baldwin and Baker. She had them make 9 memorial pins and 3 rings with jet stones set in gold. Each of them has a braided piece of hair under a piece of rock crystal.
So this is not a woman's hair, this is a man's hair in these.
Yes, exactly. And these would have been distributed to family members as a token of remembrance for him.
They're so tiny. We've looked at photographs of these where we think they're much larger, but they're just so delicate.
Well, I think that's kind of an essential part of it. You know, they could be something that you wear on the outside of your clothing to signify your state of mourning or grief, but they're also intensely personal items. They're things that you might have worn on the inside of your clothing, or maybe even kept sort of hidden away in a drawer for your own personal contemplation. We have this modern sensibility that hair is maybe unclean. I think it can seem a little bit gross, but if you think about it, it is very romantic. It's very sentimental, it's very personal. It's kind of a lovely thing to have close to you. Very sadly, Sally endured several tragic deaths during her lifetime. Her husband died, her daughter Elizabeth died, and her sister Abigail died. In 1839, Abigail Ropes was carrying hot coals from one room to another, and her dress caught on fire. Unfortunately, she suffered from those burns for about 3 weeks before she passed away. We know from her obituaries that it was a very tragic event for the family and for the town at large. Sally had some of her hair turned into jewelry to give to family members. So we have on display 5 mourning brooches. These, again, she would have taken to a specialist jeweler who could make the fittings for these and arrange the hair that you see.
There's something so heartbreakingly intimate about these tiny, delicate pieces, as you say, that they may have even worn inside their clothes. They may have hidden, put in a pocket, maybe just a way to just try to keep that person close to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why we still have so many of them, and it's often why you see them in really good condition, because they were treasured and held closely and given as tokens and keepsakes pretty widely.
They say walls can talk. At the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, you can hear what they sound like. Sometimes that's a Scottish castle or a Chinese marketplace. Sometimes history is loud! And sometimes it's very, very quiet. Come and hear for yourself at the Peabody Essex Museum. Come curious, Leave inspired. Visit PEM.org today. We've been exploring stories about hair and its meaning across cultures. If you have a tale to share, check PEM.org for details of our upcoming Moth Story Slam. Perhaps, like the Ropes family, you have a poignant family story about hair. Now, we switch gears from hair as medium to hair as personal identity and creative expression.
Hi, my name is Swaby. I'm a visual artist working at the moment primarily in textiles, and I have an exhibition opening called Fresh Up at the Peabody Essex Museum coming this summer.
Rising young artist Swaby often foregrounds hair in her work. This final section of our episode celebrates textile-based portraits that the artist calls love letters to Black women and girls.
We are in my studio right now.
Our team traveled to Toronto to speak with Geo as we anticipate the opening this summer of Swaby Fresh Up.
Fresh Up is a part of Bahamian dialect. It's how you give someone a compliment. It can just be a way of carrying yourself. You get like a new haircut and it brings out like a confidence in you. You can say to someone like, oh, you get all fresh up today, or you looking fresh up. It's just a way to connect and a really positive kind of energy, and then you can like see the boost in people.
The artist's subjects come from her tight social circle. She creates these portraits to help her loved ones see themselves the way she sees them, as she offers hope and love as a healing, restorative force.
For me, it made sense to start with the people that are closest to me in my life and to bring them into this work and to be able to share that same moment with them of seeing yourself in this new way.
Each portrait begins with a photo shoot. Sitters are captured in a moment of self-empowerment. Swaby then takes that photograph and turns it into a colorful textile portrait. The resulting works are dynamic and intensely intimate. Geo foregrounds the sitter's hair, clothing, and jewelry, highlighting their use of fashion as self-expression. In her own words, the pieces celebrate personal style, vulnerability, strength, individuality, and imperfections.
People think that it's a drawing made of ink or charcoal or something else, but upon closer inspection, you can see this is stitching, it's thread, and the relationship to the piece completely changes.
A love of textiles came from growing up in a house full of colorful fabric and thread. The artist's mother was a seamstress.
Every school in the Bahamas wears school uniforms, so she made all my school uniforms. And I'd help her with that too, a little bit like, sewing on the buttons, putting on the hooks on the skirt. None of my other siblings really took to the practice at all, so it was like being able to share this thing with her. For fabrics, my choice is always a lot of color. I think it's very reflective of growing up in the Bahamas, being someone from the Caribbean. Color is just a part of life. In other cities, when you walk around and everyone's in all black, you probably will never have that moment being in the Bahamas.
When viewed together, these portraits not only create a mosaic of representation, they also make a joyful community.
A lot of the power in these works is seeing many of them together. You can see the differences in how people have chosen to style themselves, but the other thing is also the similarities, kind of overarching motifs return.
One of these reoccurring motifs is hair.
Well, for me and for a lot of Black women, hair is a complicated journey. It's incredibly important as a part of our culture. Of course, the way that each person relates to their hair is going to be a little bit different. But I think for Black women globally, hair is part of our identity and the way that we present ourselves. My personal journey has been through hair as well. From having relaxed hair into now having natural hair for more of my life than my hair has been relaxed. It also is a connection to lineage and ancestry. Being from the Bahamas, tracing back ancestry is difficult. There's a history of enslavement, and being stolen and taken away has really broken down our ability to kind of trace back where we've come from. But looking at images from hundreds of years ago, you can see the similarities in hairstyles, some of the same methods of hair care, which to me is showing that there's still this connection. It's like a visceral, physical connection to this history that feels lost, but hair is a way that we can access parts of that.
As someone who didn't go to art galleries or museums during her childhood, Geo loves that subjects who look like her are now hanging on those walls, represented in her first solo museum show.
For a lot of people, based on, the feedback that I've heard, seeing some of my work might be the first time that they have seen a version of themselves in this kind of space. So I definitely don't take the importance of that lightly. It's a huge consideration in how I make this work and in the way that these portraits come together to feel like you are in a space that is warm and accommodating. That's where my mind is when I'm making these pieces and thinking about who will see them and the kind of experience they'll have.
You can see Geo Swaby fresh up at PEM starting August 12th, 2023. PEM's organizing curator is Lydia Peabody. Thank you to PEM's Chip and Whitney Van Dyke for their studio visit with Geo Swaby. Thank you to PEM curators Trevor Smith and Lon Morgan. Wenda United Nations is on view through November 5th, 2023. PEM's Ropes Mansion opens for self-guided tours May 27th, where you can see for yourself the mourning jewelry and other family heirlooms belonging to generations of the Ropes family. Also, get ready for PEM's live open mic storytelling, The Moth Story Slam, this summer on August 3rd. Start now to prepare your 5-minute story about hair or come listen to these intimate stories. Find out more at PEM.org. This episode of the PEMCast was produced by me, Dinah Carden, and edited and mixed by Erica Sutter. Learn more about this episode and see related images on our blog, connected at PEM.org. The PEMCast is generously supported by the George S. Parker Fund.